Entrepreneurship and scientific innovations in education are critical foundations towards the socio-economic development of the country. This was evidenced in the academic science fair at St. Joseph Girls Secondary School in Zambia, while parents and the general public were invited to witness the girls' innovations that they have created so far. I am Jemeo Nachiranda. Please welcome to the Education Forum show and enjoy the show.
We had a project, and our project was poultry. We have dealt with poultry. So this cage system is the battery cage system, and the importance of the battery cage system is that these chickens cannot easily get vices. Okay, like vices are easily controlled through this method because this chicken cannot come and start top-pecking this one. And also diseases are not easily got, and the collection of eggs is very easy since each hen lays its egg and the egg comes here, so we can easily collect the eggs. Now, when a chicken, for example, is ill, we take the chicken to a sick bay, and this sick bay has to be far away from the cage where all these chickens are at, in order for the rest not to contact the illness, not to get the illness. Yes. Now my colleague will say the rest.
We mainly specialize in rearing birds called the layers, and these layers, their origin basically they originate from Holland and Denmark. Yeah, they can also, or you can also get them from Kenya. So they are mainly reared for egg production. Yeah, and this system, as she already said, it's called the battery cage system. It can also be carried out. The advantage of this system, it's carried out on a small scale. So if you're there at home, you can easily carry out this. You can easily carry out this system of bird keeping because it takes a little space, like limited space. So you can keep your birds in a small space. And the good thing is that, one of the things like, this system, it depends on the number of birds you keep. So if you keep 10 birds, you will collect 10 birds a day. 10 eggs, 10 eggs a day, because each bird lays an egg a day. Yes. And then we have wood shavings here, as you can see. The wood shavings, the importance of these wood shavings is to stop the droppings from reaching the cage of the other bird. Yeah, so that these shavings, they absorb moisture from the droppings, leaving the cage dry and comfortable for the birds to stay in the bird system. Yes, and for water provision, we keep on providing them with water. Consequently, if the water gets, feed them with water like all the time. And then vaccination. We are going to talk about how do we vaccinate them. These birds are vaccinated as early as 1 day. So as early as 1 day, we vaccinate them against a disease called Malex. That disease, it's an instant killer. You can't notice. You find some birds in your cage, they have died instantly if you didn't vaccinate them. So this disease is prevented by vaccinating as early as 1 day. It's called the Malex disease. How do you vaccinate it? Through oral system, that is through the mouth. You get the vaccination, put it in the mouth of the bird. That's 1 day. Then the other vaccination is the Newcastle vaccine. Newcastle vaccine, you can either use the oral method or use the eye drop. And this method, this vaccination is against a disease called Newcastle. Yes. Then the third week, we vaccinate them against a disease called infectious bronchitis. Infectious bronchitis, it's a respiratory disease. It affects the breathing system of the bird. You find the bird coughing, yeah, you find the bird having difficulty in breathing. That means that the bird is infected. So before it acquires that disease, you can prevent the disease by vaccinating it against the disease by putting the vaccine in water. So the bird takes the water and you have finished the vaccination. Then the 4th week, we vaccinate the bird against the disease called infectious bronchitis Gumboro. And we also, for this disease, it affects the immune system. Like it weakens the immunity of the bird. That's why you find the bird so weak. So preventing this disease, we vaccinate it through water. We put the vaccine in water, and then the bird, by that method, we have vaccinated the bird. Then at 5 months, we vaccinate the bird against the avian influenza. And this disease, it's a viral disease. It's called a viral disease because it's affected by the virus. It's brought about by the virus. So the virus causes this disease to the birds. So preventing it, we prevent it by vaccinating it. And how do we vaccinate it? We vaccinate these birds through water. Okay, also, we put the vaccination in the water. Yeah, in that process, we have vaccinated the bird.
Basing on that information on how birds can be reared, you can surely transform your poultry enterprise into a lucrative business. Now, from poultry, we now visit the side of backcloth. Did you know that this fabric can be used to make curtains, sanitary towels, and other garments? Let's take a look.
So my project is about making usable sanitary towels from backcloth. Backcloth is it's a fabric obtained from a tree. The tree is called mutuba. You may know it or not. It's not so common, but then it has very, very profitable qualities. In that, we first have to harvest it from the tree. This is when we apply the knowledge we get from class about physics. We get a wedge. This is a simple machine that is topic learnt in Form 2. We make the wedge, then we shall use it to scrape off the bark after making the marks on the tree. I don't have a tree live here, but then after making your marks, you scrape off the bark. This has to be done carefully because we want to sustainably use this resource of this tree, of this forest. We do not want to harm the phloem of the tree. This is learnt in biology because we want the tree to keep alive and all that. We do not want to destroy the tree, but we want to use it and benefit from the resources that we have. After getting the bark of the tree using the sharp pointed edge of a banana stalk, we shall have this mallet. A mallet is a simple machine. This is all use of physics knowledge. And now this mallet is made of ridges. This is the friction. We want to increase the friction on this mallet so that we can use it. The mutuba bark after harvesting it is also kind of rough. The friction is the force that opposes motion between two rough surfaces or two surfaces. This friction, as you see me hitting this mutuba bark, will help us activate the shear force in the layers of this mutuba. As you see, after hitting, we shall be able to get this layer. Now this layer is what we shall process. This is the fabric that we shall get, as you see it here. Now this piece of backcloth can be used for very many things. Let me first show you the curtain that we make from the backcloth. You can use it and design your thing using the backcloth, which has high insulating properties. You'll be sure not to feel so cold in your home if you use it to design or as a piece of art. This backcloth is a fabric that is rich in various ways. We can use this backcloth to make curtains. This backcloth has high insulating properties. This is learnt in materials as seen in physics. So this curtain is one of the innovations that we have made from the backcloth. We don't want people to see it as just a fabric for tradition. We want to see it as a raw material for various things. Now the key thing that we are making from this backcloth are the reusable sanitary towels.
we have seen in our various communities that girls may not be able to access the sanitary towels, and yet it's very essential in their lives. In very rural areas, which are not so served well by these modern sanitary towels, they will not be able to get the sanitary towels. Then they will instead hide away during their menstruation cycles and periods. So we made this organic and natural alternative that is not like the non-biodegradable plastic sanitary towels, because if you get a sanitary towel made from the back cloth, it is biodegradable. This is positively affecting our environment. We are not going to pollute it in any way. Unlike the way people burn sanitary towels in incinerators, that's causing air pollution. That people dispose of sanitary towels into the land pollution with the waste. Now, the process is very simple. After getting your back cloth, you shall use math and measure according to the size that you want. This is a skill that can be learned by anyone and can be useful to anyone. So you will make the design that you are pleased with. Then you shall get a cotton cloth as this. Then you cut it in the same design. This cotton cloth has good absorbency. It's gentle on your skin. It will be the first layer on the skin that will be in contact with the lady's skin. Then you shall get a towel, an absorbent material, which will ensure that there are no leaks. This towel has high absorbency. This is why we opt for it in our sanitary towel, that we give our customer a very reliable product. Furthermore, we shall use knowledge used in art and all that normal skills to stitch up this sanitary towel into a final project. So, once you're finished with your sewing and all that, you'll come up with a sanitary towel like this. It's reusable and affordable. If a person who does not have the ability to access these modern sanitary towels gets hold of this, they can use it for as long as they want. Backcloth is very durable, as we researched. We researched that once people get to know that backcloth has various other uses, they'll plant more trees with the effect of using them to make backcloth. This will affect our environment positively and modify our climate. People will also not destroy the environment through disposing of these sanitary towels, because it's biodegradable, in that wherever I throw it, it will be decomposed and go back to the soil which it came from. So I want to use our environmental resources sustainably without destroying it and actually improving our climate and environment.
You are still watching the Education Forum show, and we are still looking at the different innovations made by the girls in this secondary school, which was prescribed in the new lower secondary curriculum. Well, aside from that, we are going to look at banana flour, not wheat flour, but banana flour, and how it is used in making or processing snacks.
And my product is banana flour. It looks like this, and the procedures are: you go and harvest mature bananas. After harvesting them, you keep them for some days and they become ripe up to this level. Should be somehow 30 to 40% ripe. After that, you peel them, you cut them into small circles to ease the drying process. After you cutting them, you put them on a flat surface, you dry them. You can either use an oven to dry them, which is faster. You can use the sun or even a solar dryer, you can use it. After them being dry, you take them to the milling machine and they mill it into this powder, to this banana powder, and they come up with this. And this banana flour can be used to make bakery products such as buns, cakes. Also you use it to make pancakes. When you use it to make pancakes, the pancakes are softer. They can be soft like for 7 days, and also it reduces on the amount of wheat flour to be used in the bakery products. That's the procedure.
Training learners entrepreneurial skills gives them the advantage of acquiring employable skills and also an income. It is why the government emphasizes developmental skills in schools. Well, tapping into opportunities at this young age is a very big advantage towards earning income. Let's take a look at more innovations.
This is our product. We made chocolate cookies, and the way we made them, we first melted chocolate, then we mixed all the dry ingredients like flour, sugar, and all that. We mixed them up, then we took them to the mixer, mixed them, then we kneaded the dough, rolled it out, made our different shapes, and we put them in the oven so that they could bake. And this was our final product. Well, firstly, to those people who think it's a waste of time, I really don't think so, because baking is a lovely activity. It is wonderful, and when you do it with passion, things will come out. So I encourage those people, instead of going there, maybe going to clubs and all that, you can do this as a leisure activity or as something that can help your family's bond and all that. And plus, it also helps you maximize profit.
Did you know that the jam we use on confectionaries in Uganda is imported? Well, we can stop this by manufacturing our own jam and also promote the government initiative of Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. Well, these girls were able to make an innovation that is called the fruit processing science, where they can make jam by themselves.
The product we have made today is jam. And this jam is made using natural products, that is to say, pineapples, mangoes, lemons, and sugar. Yes. We put the lemons in this jam because the lemon juice contains citric acid, which helps in preserving the jam for longer. We also add sodium benzoate to it so that the sodium benzoate can help the jam go longer. For example, if the jam was to take, let's say, 4 months with the lemon alone, this jam with added sodium benzoate will take 6 months. Yes, this jam is good in a way that it has fibers which help ease digestion from the pineapples. It has natural sugars, which is beneficial to people who have diabetes, in a way that all the sugars in the jam are natural. And this benefits the country in a way that we have better sources of jams. For example, people import such jams, but they have too many additives that are artificial and unhealthy for the body. This is purely natural and is beneficial because people who lack white-collar jobs can sell it and get money. They can make it for their own consumption. For example, some people don't take jam because they have too many additives. So if they make this jam, yes, they can get fibers for digestion, natural sugars, and they can sell it. The jam is made through a simple process. It is sort the fruits according to ripeness, cut the fruits, blend the fruits, and we cook them with sugar. We add sodium benzoate, the preservative, at the end of the boiling procedure so that it does not evaporate. It's very volatile. So at the end of the procedure of boiling, we add sodium benzoate. Yes. After that, we package the products and you get the jam.
You are still watching the Education Forum show. And as we go and still explore the innovations the girls at St. Joseph Secondary School have been able to create, which is part of their study scheme. Now, do you know about the Tower Garden and its purposes? Don't go any further. We are still going to explore the Tower Garden and exactly what happens there.
So I am presenting the Tower Garden. To make this garden, we need to have the supports, which are sticks, yes, and a wire mesh. So we put the supports on the board, wrap it around with wire mesh. We insert the heart of the garden. The heart is made up of plastic bottles and stones. The plastic bottle is perforated to allow water to move through. So we insert the heart and then we put the soil. So the soil is in a ratio of 1 to 4 to 2, yes. We have manure in there, loam soil and sand soil. Sand soil is mainly to prevent the soil from caking, yes. So we insert our soil and the garden is prepared. So what we do, we can plant seedlings or we can put seeds in the garden. Each and every outlet you see on this garden can be an outlet for the plant. It means we can have very many plants on a small garden. We can mainly have small plants like mint, coriander, oatmeal on this garden. You can't have plants like carrots or cabbages. They are too big to fit here. So we put small plants and we can harvest very many of them on a very small scale. At the top we have kale, which needs to grow vertically. It can't come through the holes. Yes, that's our garden. So the advantages of having this garden, you can grow very many crops on a small scale. As I told you before, each hole you see can be an outlet for a crop. And we can have a number of plants growing on the garden. So you can have on this side, you can have mint. This side you have coriander. On the other side you have oatmeal.
In livestock farming, piggery is one of the most lucrative businesses. Well, that includes on how you take care of the animals, including shelter, treatment, and feeding. Let's learn more about how you can maintain these animals and this business.
So IMO is indigenous microorganisms. So these microorganisms, they prevent the pigs from smelling bad. So you add it on their litter. After 3 days of them littering, you add it there. So IMO can be made at home. IMO can be made at home. So you get food rich in carbohydrates, such as sweet potatoes, cassava, posho. You add water, you squash them to make them smaller. So you get a container, you put them in, and then you dig a hole in the ground and add that container in. But you can also put them under a tree shade. You just need a dark place. So after 4 days, you get it out. Then you add sugar, like the sugar we eat, like 2 grams of sugar. Then you bury it again in the soil for 3 days. So after 3 days, fermentation is done. The purpose of adding sugar is to increase the reproductive rate of the bacteria, the microorganisms. So then you add maize bland, a little maize bland, then you leave it there. So you store it in a cool for like 2 days or 3 days. So you store it in a cool place again. So after that, your IMO is complete. So you get IMO, like 5 grams of IMO. The 5 grams of IMO, like a cup, you add it to 20 liters of water. So after adding 20 liters of water, you sprinkle it on their feces. After you do it once a week, for every 2 weeks you add IMO. So with this, the bad smell in the feces will be removed because the microorganisms will be feeding on the bad smell of those feces.
It's mobile because you can move it easily, and it's made out of timber and a steel wire mesh. And then after we make this unit, okay, down we have a flat board of wood, and then we have made a small house, and we put here to protect them from the sun so that not a lot of sun rays hit them. Then in the bottom we have husks mixed with red soil. And when you see it's becoming moist or too little, we add more of it. It's to make them comfortable. And then we have 2 jerrycans. Okay, we cut a jerrycan into half, and then we have 2 whereby one we put feeds and the other one we put their water. And then feeds can be mixed with some of the deworming medicine, vitamins, so that they can keep healthy.
Have you ever thought about venturing into the rabbit business or rabbit farming? You can never go wrong in this enterprise if you understand it well. Imagine a rabbit gives birth to over 5 babies a month. Let's take a look and understand rabbit behavior.
We have a project about rabbits. We have the chinchilla, we have the New Zealand white, and they are all exotic breeds. First of all, this is the female. This big one you see here is the male. This female has a gestation period of 1 month and it can give birth 6 to 8 kids. If kept very well, it can give birth every month. Like it has the capability of giving birth today, like right now, and then it can conceive that same exact day. That means they are very nice while making business. They are very nice. You can sell them at a very high price because this one can be 150,000. This can be something like 50,000. And they can, in fact, you can use everything of theirs. You can feed on them, they can work as pets, and they are excrete, like what they excrete, the urine and the feces, you can use them as manure because they are very high in nitrogen. They have ammonia. So you can use them and put them in plants. They are very nice fertilizers. So you can do that about them. And they are very prone to diseases. So you ought to give them supplements, you ought to give them vitamins. You're supposed to give them everything they need. They have a very low immunity. You're not supposed to keep them in a moist environment. They like it dry. They like dry food. But yeah, in case you're building their house, you're not supposed to put it too much on the ground. It should be a bit raised, because in case any water flows into their house, it drips in, they can easily get sick. They can easily get sick from a cold flu. Like in case someone around here has flu, if they get in touch with it, they can easily give it to them and they will get sick, and they are very hard to treat because they are very vulnerable. First of all, their fur can be used to make bags. I've seen bags made of their fur. They have very nice fur. Their excretory products, you can use them for manure. Yeah, and you can also for feeding purposes. They are very expensive types. Their meat is very expensive in restaurants, and you can also sell them as pets. Some people like that one. That one is a crossbreed between this chinchilla and that New Zealand white. If you crossbreed it, someone has already asked for that one as a pet, so you can use it as a pet. So rabbits, it's very advisable to buy 2 rabbits in case you're buying, because if you buy 1 rabbit, rabbits are very emotional. They cannot deal with living alone. They like it when they are with company. Even if you're keeping them in a cage, it's very nice. Maybe on the weekend you let them to interact, eat some natural stuff. And you see how they are cuddling up in the middle? They are very shy animals. They don't like people. Like, they just don't like people. They like being together as rabbits. So if you're buying a rabbit, it's nice if you buy 2. Because if you buy 1, it will feel sad. It will cuddle up in the corner, stop feeding, and probably run away from you. If you let it go, there is a very high possibility that it's going to run away from you. Yeah, that's it. The female are very recessive. Like the male are known to be dominant in the area. Like even when you give them food, they normally leave the male to eat first. I don't know why. The male normally eats first, then the female comes later. You see how she's calm, and the male is always running around. Like even when they give birth and you dare to put the male near the children, it's going to kick them till they die, and it's not nice. Like you're supposed to separate them. You can leave the mother with the children, but let me say, like if it has given birth right now, you're supposed to be there, because if it gives birth and it sees its bunnies and it's hungry, there is a very high possibility that it's going to eat them. So you're supposed to be around and protect it. They are not supposed to be too close. Then when they go at a certain age, then you can mix them with the father. Like these 2 are product from that one. You can mix them, but one other thing you should not do, you should not put 2 males in the same cage. You see, this is a male and that's a male. If you put them in the same cage, they are going to fight. They will fight, they will not eat, and they will squeeze. This is a lady. They will squeeze her, they will kick her, like she will just not be fine. You can't put 2 males in the same place, but you can put 2 females. They are calm. They're naturally calm. And in case you're holding them, you're supposed to hold them by the ears and then hold down. Because if you hold them here, they are kind of violent. So they will kick you or scratch you. So you're supposed to hold the ears.
Wow, that was quite interesting about rabbit farming. There was a lot exhibited in the science fair on both science and also art subjects at St. Joseph Girls Secondary School in Zambia. Now, from livestock, we're going to explore horticulture. This is where we're going to learn how pests can be prevented from eating crops. Enjoy.
Me and my colleagues made this product called the Natural Pest Repellent. It's made entirely out of natural resources such as tomatoes, cloves, garlic cloves, onions, tomatoes, lemon, chili pepper, water, and dish soap, a bit of dish soap. So we use these ingredients because the garlic prevents the growth of bacteria. We use tomatoes because it contains solanine that is toxic to the pests. We use onions because they contain sulfur compounds that repel away the pests.
We use lemon because it contains citric acid that is toxic to organisms such as snails that destroy our plants. We used chili pepper because it causes a burning sensation that irritates away the pests and also sometimes kills pests such as snails, caterpillars. Procedures followed. In case you want to make about 1 liter of the pesticide or the pest repellent, you get about 10 cloves of the garlic, you get 2 tomatoes, 2 onions, 2 lemons, 2 to 3 tablespoons of the chili pepper, and then you put them in a blender. You first chop them actually. You first chop them into smaller pieces, and you put them in the blender and blend them. And then after you can add the chili pepper and the water, 1 liter of water, and blend it more. After blending it, you sieve the mixture so that you can obtain a stable liquid. And then you add the 2 to 3 droplets of the dish soap. The dish soap is to make it sticky. In case you spray it on the plants, it can stick onto the pests that come onto the plants and kill them slowly. And then, after you've made this stable liquid, you keep it for about 24 hours in a stable place covered so that you can prevent organisms from falling into it. And after those 24 hours, you have obtained your full natural pest repellent. I would recommend everyone to use a natural pest repellent since artificial pest repellents contain acids. So they make our soils acidic, which is whereby most crops need about 6 to 6.8 to grow well. So if you use artificial pesticides, they add acidity into the soil, which does not favor the growth of the plants. Hence, they'll end up dying since plants actually grow very well between 6.8, not as too acidic and not alkaline, just there, almost neutral. And also, these are very affordable, most especially those people in the villages who can't afford these artificial pesticides. They can use these ingredients since you can obtain them from the garden and make your own pest repellent without spending any coin.
Well, you are assured of not spending any penny when you apply the technology of using your own pest repellent made out of the ingredients of the garden. These innovations were displayed during the Academic Science Fair at St. Joseph Girls Secondary School in Zambia. The technology of a locally made vacuum cleaner was also displayed or exhibited by the students.
Well, the internal structure of the vacuum cleaner consists of the motor, which helps rotate the fan, which generates wind in order to suck in the rubbish and dust particles, and then the mesh and or the filter bag. It prevents the rubbish collected from going to the internal structure, which would just spoil the mechanical system of the vacuum cleaner. And then the suction pipe, which helps to direct the rubbish so it does not go in the wrong place. The vacuum cleaner can be used like in your homes, in your sofa sets, your carpets, where you cannot reach. Like those deep corners of the sofa sets, you are not reachable. And it helps collect more rubbish than you would collect maybe with your bare hands or a broom. And it reduces like dust. For example, when they sweep, some are allergic to dust, eye irritations and such things. But the vacuum cleaner prevents all of that, which makes it more efficient for working and prevents the health diseases that would occur. So she's going to demonstrate how the vacuum cleaner works. But it would work at a slower voltage as the complete voltage needed to power a vacuum cleaner is 12 volts, but here we only have 10.5. That means it would pull the rubbish and dust particles at a very slow rate. As you can see, they're entering the storage. Let's say this will act as our dustbin. You just dump it in the dustbin. Yeah. So that's how the vacuum cleaner works.
Skills and innovation for sustainable living was the theme for the academic science fair. This is exactly what the new lower secondary school curriculum emphasizes. The head teacher of St. Joseph Girls Secondary School in Zambia said this is a step in the right direction.
This is exactly what they are doing now in class in this new curriculum, because whatever they learn, they put it in practice, and they have showed so many different projects, so many innovations, and I hope in future these are going to be great people. The girls have been able to put in, like in physics, chemistry, biology, whatever they are doing, to put in for the parents to see. The parents have enjoyed the day, they have liked whatever the girls are able to do, and the learners also have learned a lot, because as they go, like when they go to the school farm and they are able to plant those vegetables, and they see that we can eat the vegetables, and that is something supplementary to their diet, and especially as they do that is science, the biology subject. And we have seen that also, like in physics, learners are able to begin getting ideas, whatever they learn in theory, to put it in practice. They can now find something, biogas, where we can be burning the rubbish. Probably that also will help us, that we take less rubbish to wherever they are spreading it in the city.
One of the things that really impressed me is the translating what the students learn in class over to some practical hands-on products. We've been going through the stores of the foods they've been making, the bread, the donuts, the cookies, and everything else. It just amazes me how they can make these products from what we already have within our environment. They don't have to buy very expensive stuff to make it. For instance, one of the teachers that has been going around with me, I've been asking him, how do they make flour from bananas? And then he told me they dry it. I think there's a machine over there, they just dry it, and after drying it, they grind it. I had never seen, to be honest, I've never seen banana flour before. The kind of flour that I'm used to is corn flour, maize flour, I think that's what you call it, wheat flour, and the rest. But the bottom line is how these students are able to translate what they learn in class into something that's very practical and useful. The young people are our future. If we don't invest them the knowledge and the resources that they need, well, we don't have a bright future if we don't. But now that the schools are beginning to work with the teachers to help these young people invent things from their local environment, as I said, I've been impressed by young students making pesticides, for example. Pesticides are not harmful to the environment. There's one group that I saw, they make pesticides out of tomato, onions, garlic, and think pepper. Now, if they can translate this into the marketplace, I really hope they'll be creating industry that will be able to export our products if the government is able to support them.
We offer a number of skills which we call occupations. An occupation is a family of projects. I'll give an example. Number one, the major skill here is bakery, and we train learners in various bakery products, over 50 of them. We do milk processing. Milk processing is another occupation where students learn value addition to milk into very many products like yogurt, ice cream, powdered milk, and so on. Then we have fruit and vegetable processing. That is another occupation. We do a lot of food processing, jam, fruit juice, we dry fruits, we dry banana into bakery flour. All that one is done under fruit and vegetable processing, tomato sauce, and so on. Then we have another occupation which we call soap and detergents. Now here we are looking at the soap family, the cleaning agents, whether bathing soap, whether detergent powder, whether liquid detergent, whether bar soap, that is all covered under the soap and what? And the detergent. So those are some of the key occupations we are doing here at the moment, but we intend to increase to around 10. The new curriculum, I would say, requires learners to be practical. And then in the skilling department, what we do, we also use the classroom knowledge to do these projects, to apply the principles, the principles and so on. So we have two ways. Of course, in the main academic line, we do UNEB certification, that is the USE. But now we are examining the learners, we are assessing them in the skills using the DIT system, what they call the dual system. So the skills themselves are also examinable, and we have started examining our learners, and they will get a certificate which is called the Lower Vocational Qualifications Level 1. Level 1, Vocational Qualification Level 1 is equivalent to the UCE O-level certificate, which UNEB gives. So our learners, the 35 I've talked about, we now have two certificates. One is a skills certificate, and the other one is the academic certificate. But those 35 are just part of the number that are going that has Uganda Certificate of Education. But those 35 are the ones who are doing the skilling. I would say the science projects, some of them or most of them pass for experiments, for trials, and so on. But in the skilling, we are doing the real product that is sold or bought in the real world, in the market. That is where the difference is. You find a learner trying out a pesticide, that is a project. But that pesticide has no market as such.
2024 is when the first cohort of students were examined under the new lower secondary school curriculum. It is competence-based because it is a learner-centered curriculum. I spoke to one of the teachers.
The school is coping up with the new curriculum by enabling students to be innovative, to have the skills so as to be able to act as citizens of this country, and the skills they're earning are going to help them to earn a sustainable living. So with the new curriculum, the school enables the students have a well-furnished computer lab where they do research on their own. The teaching is learner-based, whereby the learners do their own teaching as the teacher is facilitating. Our learners here have different skills. Some of them go for swimming, others have sports. The rest are leadership skills. Others are coming up with new products. They are making projects. Senior 4s had senior 3s, and senior 1s and 2s are also doing some projects. Just to note on the projects, in my subjects, chemistry, we have learners who have made plastic pavers out of plastics. We have learners who have made plastic dustbins. We have learners who have made substances using a topic called mixtures, that is making baby porridge. They have made it. These girls are so creative that they have even branded their own products, and they are using locally available and natural materials that are environmentally friendly to us. If I was in the new curriculum, if I was a student, I would pass greatly because it gives a student confidence. It has made them to have an added skill, not only academic, not only books, but there's that skill that they are now gaining that is enabling them to be responsible citizens and to earn a living. that learners can come up with something that even that in a creative way they can think on their own, even without a teacher. They can think and come up with something. That's because of the new curriculum. The old curriculum was only encouraging us to write things, notes, but these ones, they think on their own and they're able to come up with activities that are outstanding. And I guess these girls are going to be very well and citizens of the country. Some of the learners have made charcoal briquettes. Charcoal briquettes are made of cow dung and a few materials like charcoal dust, and these are going to help in energy saving, whereby we are using a lot of charcoal that is enabling cutting down of trees. So in using of charcoal briquettes, it helps reduce on the amount of charcoal being used when cooking, and therefore they help to reduce on the cutting down of trees. And also another project that they have made, some have recycled plastics. Plastics cause a lot of pollution, and we have seen that it is due to dumping of rubbish, but for them they recycle the plastics and come up with new items out of them. They have made plastic dustbins that we use here at school. They have made plastic shoes. Some have made very many plastic items out of plastic bottles and cups. Yes, for practicals and skills on, our learners in a day, they have on a timetable, they are timetabled to have time for skills whereby they carry out their own practicals. We be guiding them as teachers. So our learners have practicals they do after classes, and also in the, like for my subject chemistry, they are able to go in the chemistry lab. And in the new curriculum, we don't give them the procedure. It is the learners to imitate what has been learned, and they carry out something out of what they have learned, and they do their own with innovation and creativeness.
Well, St. Joseph Girls Secondary School is one of the most oldest schools in Uganda. It was founded by Mother Kevin of the Little Sisters of St. Francis in 1967. The old girls of the school were equally impressed by the innovations the students have developed during the academic fair.
And today we are here for the science exhibition to see what the students have been able to make out of the skills that they have learned from the new curriculum that has pushed them to be able to execute and to come up with different innovations from what they learn in class. There were quite a number of items, but what impressed me the most were people were able to come up with lipstick, chocodies, which we also did in our days, liquid soaps, among us very many other items. The new curriculum pushes them to be, whatever that they learn in class, they have to be able to do something out of it, which I feel is a very good thing, because life out there is all about skills, it's all about creativity, it's all about, yes, relations. So if I go in class and learn that it is important to, let's say, make a plane, if I believe and I'm able to get the skill to teach me to do that, I can be able to do that. So yes, I believe that the skills that they learned in class, if they put them in action, very many new job opportunities, new creative minds will be out there in the world.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's edition. Our focus was on skills and innovation for sustainable living. See you next time. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.